TM Opera, oh, The Conqueror of Uma Musume by Pyrrhixz. Again, I have no idea about this horse. All I know is that she loves ruining my runs. Like, genuinely, this horse is the bane of my existence recently. Every race that she's part of, I just suffer. We'll just jump in.
There's a saying in Japanese horse racing pertaining to each of the Triple Crown titles. The Satsuki Sho is won by the fastest horse, the Kika Sho by the strongest, and the Tokyo Yushun by the luckiest. At the time of writing this script, from 1941 to 2025, only 8 racehorses have achieved the legendary Triple Crown title. With
8? Only 8? That's crazy! Lucas Chandler's back to normal. Yes, I'm so happy for him that he's back to normal. The man has been going through it. That's crazy. Just 8 horses managed to get the Triple Crown until now.
5 of those horses being before the year 2000. These 5 racehorses would be Saint Light in 1941, Shinzan in 1964, Mr. CB in 1983, Simbali Rudolph in 1984, and Narita Bryan in 1994.
Okay, I've heard none of those horse names. As far as I can tell, only 8 for Japanese Triple Crown. Okay, Japanese Triple Crown, okay.
The Japanese Triple Crown consists of 3 races of varying lengths. The Satsuki Sho at 2,000 meters.
Nakayama Turf clockwise. 2,000 meter clear good. Okay, okay. There's other horses in other national Triple Crowns. Okay.
The Tokyo Yushun at 2,400 meters. And the Kika Sho at 3,000 meters. Differing distance is the first of many hurdles a racehorse will face when contesting this Triple Crown title. These 3 races are also home to some of the most fierce competitors of their era, making winning all 3 competitions a test of pure strength and racing capability. These racehorses...
I'm gonna say this right away. I don't want a euthanization in this video. I will lose it if there's another horse dying. Please. Please. Don't.
Can't simply waltz into these races either. Strict regulation were in place to have horses qualify by winning preliminary races. They had to prove themselves before ever setting foot on the turf. In addition, this title is limited to 3-year-old horses only, meaning there's only one shot to even attempt to seize this title. In previous videos, we've covered up-and-coming stars who...
Okay, so only 3-year-old horses. So the latest you can have is 3 years old. Or is it exclusively 3-year-old horses? Can't be older than 3 years. Let me go back.
Ever setting foot on the turf. In addition, this title is limited to 3-year-old horses only, meaning there's only...
Okay, limited to 3-year-old horses only, so only 3 years old. Only, nothing else. 3 years, that's all we have. Cool, interesting. How much is their lifespan, by the way? How many years? I would assume that the lifespan isn't that long due to the strain, I would argue. So, I don't know. Well, we could Google. How old is the average race? Okay, actually, average racing horse lived between 13 and 20 years old. Okay, maybe not that low. Pretty well. They can go over 25 years, but most don't go that high. Yeah, they're like 13 and 20 is the average. But I would assume that the way it has been appearing is that horses, like actual high performers, they don't live that long.
Only one shot to even attempt to seize this title. In previous videos, we've covered up-and-coming stars who contend for the Triple Crown title, several examples being Agnes Tachyon, Tokai Teo, Mejiro McQueen, and Mihono Bourbon. Even if a competitor isn't able to seize all of these titles, it's rare for their competition to be so
I should do it like the one Uma player and get a horse myself. Not for racing, just a horse. I'm gonna buy a retired race horse. So about the average dog lifespan? Yeah, pretty much.
Fierce that it redefines a horse racing era. Today, we'll be covering a story that did just that. a racehorse who, alongside Admire Vega and Narita Top Road, will show the audience one of the most fierce competitions to claim the Triple Crown, only to continue on and cement himself in horse racing history. This is the story of TM Opera O, the conqueror of the century's end. TM's racing career is highlighted in 2 series of the Uma Musume anime.
Also, I've still not managed to watch the Uma anime. I still haven't. I still didn't get the chance to watch it. I really do want to watch it.
These include TM's debut and first year of racing in Road to the Top, and his dominating career that follows, which is displayed in Beginning of a New Era. The name of the movie itself pays tribute to the end of TM Opera O's legacy, and the induction of a new era of race horses. Some Umas in the series have very brief racing careers, while others stack tens of hundreds of races under their belt.
My daughter! My daughter! Protect her at all costs! In nature, animals live way less. Taking example from honey badgers that live 7 years in nature and nearly 30 in human hands. Yep. Humans usually extend an animal's lifespan quite a bit. Live racehorses usually retire with quite a strained body from racing. Then there's Goldship. Yeah, the clips I've seen is this horse is just so goofy. He's just so goofy.
The one unique thing about TM Opera O's career is the sheer domination that will follow a fierce competition for the Triple Crown title in 1999. Road to the Top would convey a message that strong competition would bring out the absolute best of a racer's capabilities, and that statement holds true for the 1999 Triple Crown series. TM Opera O was born on March 13, 1996 at the Kineas Ranch in Urakawa, Hokkaido. TM's sire was Opera House, a famous racehorse from Great Britain. He had earned the title of European champion in 1993 after winning multiple G1 races.
Not bad, not bad. Descendant of a pretty good horse.
Just like Sunday Silence, an American racehorse that would be brought to Japan, Opera House's strong racing capabilities made him a contender to be a breeding stallion, leading to his transfer in 1994. The TM in Opera's name are the initials of Masasugu Takezono, the president and owner of TM Kinen. Takezono would be the one to bring Opera House to Japan and begin the process of turning him into a breeding stud. Opera is in honor of his sire, Opera House, and the O signifies king in Japanese.
Interesting, like that so basically the idea was just breeding stallion and breeding stud. And then they just said, yeah, actually, let this man race, let's see what happens. Interesting, interesting. Well, does he also have 2,000 plus kids running around outside?
This is a common suffix used in Japanese racehorses' names, with another prime example being Sakura Bakushin O. Despite the impressive display of dominance TM would show in future races, the start of his career will come with a few roadblocks. TM debuted on August 15th.
She looks so good in her outfit. She actually looks so good in her outfit. Can I get that again?
Example being Sakura Bakushin O. Despite the impressive display of dominance,
like I like the crown. I like the accessories on the ears. Generally, just like that shoulder plate, that necklace or whatever it is, right? She has a chest plate. She just looks really cool. I think this is still, in my opinion, one of the best looking ones. She looks so good.
TM would show in future races.
Like, look at this. She looks so good. Everything looks good on her. I like her design a lot.
The start of his career will come with a few roadblocks. TM debuted on August 15, 1998 at the 2-year-old newcomers race where he'd placed second overall, a staggering 6 lengths behind the winner classic stage. This race would also result in TM having to rest for 3 months due to a leg injury following his debut.
No more keep the legs safe. Please keep the legs safe. No hurty legs. No hurty legs. Thank you. No hurting legs. Appreciate it. We don't do that here. We don't.
Though his first race was on a turf-based track, TM's following 2 races would be on dirt, where he'd suffer a 4th place finish before earning his first victory at the 3-year-old make debut. At this point, it was clear that TM had potential, and so his trainers aimed to condition him to be up to par to participate in the classic races that followed. The participation of TM Opero in the classics wouldn't have been possible had he been born several years prior. At the time of TM's career in 1999, a major rule change had hit the JRA, all thanks to the legacy of one Ashen racehorse, Oguri Cap. This rule change I'll explain shortly, but the gratitude of Oguri's legacy and his impact on TMs are personified in Road to the Top, where TM Opero expresses her gratitude for Oguri's belief in her racing capabilities. The inclusion of Oguri witnessing Opero's races are also a tribute in itself, the rule change being implemented a year after Oguri Cap's retirement in 1991. Oguri Cap needs no introduction, and deserves a whole documentary-length video.
A documentary-length video? Holy... Wait, is that all first place? That is all first place. Is it? Bro, what the fuck?
Just for his staggering career in the future. However, I'll summarize it briefly to emphasize the impact he left on the racing world. Oguri Cap was denied entry into the classics in 1988 due to his failure to register the previous year. This was a requirement at the time by the JRA. However, due to Oguri's sheer dominance against strong competitors, and his sudden boom in popularity, public outcry soon ensued not only by fans, but fellow critics, trainers, and jockeys alike.
I really hate this, right? Not just here, but in general. Rule changes that occur right before an important event. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this so much. I had this where, like, oh, suddenly that rule changes. Like, for example, my school, when I was, so when I got into 11th grade, right, finished 11th grade, and then they made a rule change for the next year, which is, you could drop maths completely. So grade 12 and 13, we're still stuck with math. But the next grade 11, and then when they were 12th graders, they could just drop math. I was so furious about that rule change. It pissed me off so much. Oguri the Glutton. That fits.
Petitions were signed, attempts were made, and negotiations set to mend the rules and allow horses who miss the registration date to still be able to show their talent against Japan's best in the classics. Unfortunately, for Oguri Cap, he'd be denied entry to participate, the JRA refusing to mend these rules so suddenly. This didn't stop the public from pushing the matter, and the sheer support of Oguri Cap was so strong that the JRA could not simply sweep this under the rug. The pressure built up to the point where the JRA changed this rule in 1992, allowing racehorses a late registration into the classics, albeit with a highly inflated price. This change would be referred to as the Oguri Cap system following its implementation. Iwamoto, TM Opero's...
Cool, so still basically the name is basically now written down in history, which is really cool, regardless, by this being named after Oguri. Okay, cool.
Trainer was insistent to pay this hefty fine to showcase TM's capabilities against strong competitors. By this point, TM Opero had already met the requirements to join the classic races, having achieved a first-place finish at the Mainichi High on March 28, 1999. Takezono, due to TM's potential and Iwamoto's belief, would pay the 2 million yen fee to register TM Opero into the classics. The original plan was to train TM to compete in the Tokyo Yushun. This would mean missing the Satsuki show, which would take place on April 18, 1999. Takezono expressed concern with such a high-level race being so close to TM's Mainichi win. Once more, Oguri Cap's legacy would impact.
That's gonna be rough to make this. There's a 13th grade in Germany for school. Yeah, there is. There is. But yeah, do have 13th grade. Basically, regular high schools have 11th and 12th grade. And if you're going for a specific high school, like for example financial or a technical one, then you get an additional year. That's pretty much it. Not a big deal. And then 11th grade, basically just serves to get everyone on the same boat.
Impact the trajectory of TM's career. Despite Takezono's doubt of TM's capabilities for the Satsuki show, Tsutomu Setoguchi, Oguri Cap's trainer, encouraged him to compete. And so, on April 18, 1999, TM Opera would
Damn, look at that neck! Look at that neck! Look at this! Damn, look at that neck. Look, you can see the fucking veins. Holy shit!
enter the racecourse alongside his jockey, Ryuji Wada. TM would be placed against two strong competitors in this race, Narita Toproad and Admire Vega. TM, against all odds and at the disbelief of Iwamoto, would surge to the front of the pack within the final leg of the race, surpassing Vega and Toproad, claiming a win at the Satsuki show. This didn't only mark a major victory for TM Opera O, but also would be a moment in horse racing history. TM Opera O would be the first late registered horse under the Oguri Cap system to seize a victory at the Classics. This also was a historic moment due to Ryuji Wada, TM's jockey, being the youngest jockey in history to claim a classic victory. This victory, however, did come at a cost. TM had been badly beaten by the sheer amount of whipping Wada had given him in the final spurt.
What the? Whoa! Whoa, yikes! Pain! NTR horse. Huh? Wait, what? There is no NTR in the horse.
Iwamoto, displeased with this level of mistreatment, would scold Wada, resulting in a shift in his riding method with TM Opera O. This method would rely more on Opera O's final leg of the race, and seizing victory at the very last moment. As the year progressed, TM Opera O wouldn't be able to find his footing in order to claim another win. From the Tokyo Yushun, held on June 6, 1999, to the Arima Kinen, held on December 4, 1999, TM would see second and third place finishes overall. Despite TM's inability to claim the Triple Crown title, his participation in the Classics alongside Vega and Toproad would bring in thousands to the racecourse. Vega would seize.
Okay, cool. Narita Toproad is called NTR horse because of the name, okay. But the real NTR horse is Kita-san. I do not want to know what that means.
Victory at the Tokyo Yushun, while Toproad claimed the victory at the Kika show later on. This will result in these three racehorses being seen as one of the greatest rivalries for the classic titles. Clearly displayed in Road to the Top, the rivalry was definitely something that drew in crowds by the thousands. Despite the popularity of TM during 1999, the lack of victories frustrated Takezono, resulting in the demand to remove Ryuji as TM's jockey. Several losses were attributed to Ryuji's inability to make critical decisions as the race continued against strong competitors. For example, the defeat in the Kika show would be due to Ryuji's inability to properly pursue Narita Toproad and keep a lock on the first place position, resulting in a late surge and a lackluster performance. Iwamoto would stand by his pupil, stating that he'd retire training TM if Ryuji was replaced. Begrudgingly, Takezono will retain Ryuji's position as TM's jockey, ending his classic career in 19.
Okay, so we got, So, the trainer was unhappy with the jockey, okay. Well, here in America, we generally call it freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. Yeah, for us, it's very different. We don't really have those terms, not really. Kita-san liked different horse. The horse got bred by its rival, then the rival bred Kita-san's... Ooh! Again, Kita-san liked a different horse. The horse got bred by its rival. And then the rival bred Kita-san's mom. That's not just NTR. That is diabolical. I wouldn't let that fly. Oh my goodness. That is an NTR horse.
1999. Though Takezono had doubt of Ryuji's synergy with TM, the following year would prove to shatter all.
Now I'm imagining BoJack Horseman in a cuck chair.
all expectations. Entering the new year, Ryuji would continue to jockey TM Opera O from the beginning of his career all the way into retirement. TM's nickname, the Conqueror of the Century's End, would surface after an undefeated year of racing in the year 2000. Up until this point, it was unheard of for a racehorse to win consecutive races at this degree. Each of TM's races were either medium or long distance tracks, having participated.
This looks so good. Why did they use girls instead of horses while making the game? Oh, very simple. Very simple. Step 1, get game idea. Step 2, add cute girls into game. Step 3, profit. Step 3 is just profit off of that. Because cute girls make money and Japan. Exactly. Cute women make money. It really isn't that difficult. Any game, you just add cute women in. It makes money.
In every graded race possible in the year 2000. TM would also display a back-to-back victory in both the Autumn and Spring Tenno show, a feat only accomplished 2 times prior. These previous victories being with Tamamo Cross and Special Week. TM's wins of every possible graded medium and long distance race is still a record undefeated to this day.
I haven't won a single one with Special Week yet. I really want to win one with Special Week. Step 4, Rule 34. Funnily enough, Cygames, so to speak, prohibits that. Funnily enough. They don't want that. They don't want you to loot the horse. A race of girls instead of horses. Lame.
In addition, TM would set a record with 8 undefeated races in the year 2000, as well as the most G1 victories in a year being 5 in total. One of the most notable races for TM would be his participation in the Japan Cup.
Also, I have to say, Cygames learned from Dragalia Lost. Though Dragalia Lost was more a Nintendo issue than really a Cygames issue. But regardless, the game is super generous. I love that. I love this game of how generous it is. You get free cards, you just get free stuff every time. It's not like doesn't have girl sport for everyone to watch because it's not the best rating sports shows. Yeah, the thing is, in games that may work, it just doesn't work IRL, right? You could make a football gacha game, Japanese football gacha game, and you just make it girls, and it would make a lot of money. However, actual women's football doesn't make a lot of money. It does make a lot of money. It makes negative money, in fact. The Rule 34 for Uma is a bit more grounded. People do love to joke about Yakuza coming to break your ankles. That's funny. You can't prohibit all you want. Degenerates are gonna degenerate. Yeah, obviously. But yeah, Cygames is like, don't loot the horses. It's just interesting. Yeah.
Resulting in a first place victory. This would mark the 3rd consecutive win of Japanese racehorses, adding to the victories of El Condor Pasa and Special Week in the past 2 years.
2 lengths to make up, and here comes Fantastic Light. This is for the Emirates table. Mishidogo hit the front, TM up low. The Japanese legend runs to them. Fantastic Light trying to get him. TM up low. The crowd roars. Their champion wins it by a head in a thrilling finish. Fantastic Light may be second from Mishidogo either way.
TM's exceptional performance would also allow him to set a record for the highest earning racehorse in history, taking home a total of 1.8 billion yen.
1.8 billion yen. Not bad. Not bad. Goldship lost 12 million yen, right? Was it? Uma actually revitalized the whole real-life horse racing. Very true, very true. I forgot which stream it was, but her stream jumped from like 80k viewers to like 300 something. It's like crazy. And the fans are super supportive. Haru Urara will have snacks for her the rest of her lifetime, for real. That girlie's just gonna munch on snacks. Where's all this food coming from?
This record would stand until 2017, when Kita-san Black would barely surpass it. These victories also showcase a strong bond between TM and Ryuji. Unsurprisingly, the undefeated year would lead many to see them as one of the most iconic jockey-horse duos in Japan. As beginning of a new era showcases, TM's dominating legacy would allow other strong competitors to be born to challenge his reign. These being Jungle Pocket, Agnes Tachyon, Manhattan Cafe, and an Uma displayed as TM's best friend, Meisha.
They have such creative names. They have so good. They have such creative names. These race horses. The Indonesian stream was the massive influx. Yes, amazing.
Dodo. Entering the year 2001, TM, much like his 1999 racing career, would see a mix of placements overall. Of the 7 total races he participated in during 2001, he'd only placed first in 2, with the lowest placement being his final race at the Arima Kinen. Originally, TM's trainers had planned to set the record for most G1 victories after the undefeated year in 2000. TM would have 7 total G1 victories in his career, tying the current record. However, Meisho Dodo would upset the chances of breaking this record by defeating TM at the Takarazuka Kinen on June 24, 2001. TM would retire following his race in the 2001 Arima Kinen.
We got a retirement without death. We got a retirement without death. What a good track record. Truly creative names. There's a horse named Blue Archive in Fortnite Dance. Blue Archive? Oh, I know what the trainer is. I know who the trainer is. I know what you are. It's funny. It's actually much more interesting in Fortnite Dance. That's still creative there.
Ushering in a new era of horse racing. TM's dominating race history will result in him being named Horse of the Year in 2000, and in 2004 he'd be inducted into the JRA Hall of Fame. Unlike the other horses we've covered in past videos, TM Opero didn't see much success as he became a breeding stud in retirement. Being from a lineage of European horses, TM's career was a miracle in itself. TM's pedigree is suited for horses being raised and raced outside of Japan, and due to this, many of TM's offsprings were unremarkable in performance on Japanese racecourses. Sadly, due to this fact, interest quickly declined over time due to the unsuccessful offspring TM sired. For the remaining
Okay, interesting. So we got, he didn't have much success for the babies. Interesting. There's even a horse named May the Horse Be With You. Remember, guys, all those horses have a chance to end up... Uma Musume somehow found a way to make infinite content, because as long as horse racing exists, you can first of all make alternate skins, you can make add new horses. It's just crazy. They retire, it's just crazy. Also, the moment that gold ship in the black bikini drops, I'm gonna go full broke.
Remainder of his life, TM enjoyed retirement away from the racecourse. He passed away suddenly at the Hakuban Bokujo farm in Hokkaido at the age of 22 years old, after suffering.
That's still a successful life. Only those that raise in Japan. Okay. Only those that raise in Japan. Okay, but regardless, that is still infinite content. That is still, at least the Japanese ones are still infinite content, regardless.
Suffering a heart attack. Though his life had ups and downs, TM Opero is still regarded as one of the greatest racehorses of all time in Japan. Even with the inability to seize a Triple Crown, Opero had solidified his capabilities on the racetrack, earning record-breaking amounts and gaining the adoration of thousands.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Die, but what a legacy. And need to gain the permission of owners. Well, yeah, but looking at how successful Uma Musume is, I don't think that would be difficult. I don't think it. Maybe it is, but I don't think that would be difficult. The way they're portraying the horses, and how well they're doing it, and the massive fan base.
A racehorse who ushered in a new era, personified as a prideful Uma with a love for racing and a desire to stand atop her competition. This was the story of TM Opero, the conqueror of the century's end. Did you enjoy this video, and who should I cover next? Be sure to let me know in the comment section down below.
Okay, not bad. I like this one as well. As usual, they're usually incredibly well-made videos. I enjoy these really a lot. Yeah, TM Opero is a quite quite amazing horse. I love this. Amazing. There are some high ranked horses that didn't get into the game due to people refusing the edition. Yeah, okay. Yeah. But I think, you know, it's never too late to not get them in there, right? It's never too late to not get them in there. So we'll see. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe.